Hi beautiful, welcome to your audio tape by Innermost. This series is designed to connect you back to your authentic innermost self. Many of us move through life filled with doubts and insecurity. We see ourselves and what's possible for us in a limited way, and so our inner beauty, innate gifts, and unlimited potential stays hidden within. My hope is that these audio tapes remind you of what you were born knowing, that you're enough and you're worthy exactly as you are. Each reminder, each ritual, and each mindset tool isn't necessarily teaching you anything new, it's simply reminding you of your own truth. As we move through the world, we're bombarded with messages, others' limiting beliefs, and judgments and experiences that often cause us to second guess ourselves and question who we are. Through my own experience, as well as conversations I've had with hundreds of women, I've discovered that our lack of self-esteem and self-assuredness is impacted greatly by our own words. Very few of us are taught about the impact of our self-talk, how to manage it, or the fact that it even exists. For so many years, I spoke to myself with such judgment and real criticism. As we fill our minds with critical thoughts, demeaning comments, and harsh comparisons, we prevent ourselves from seeing our authentic selves. Our minds cloud our perspective, leading us to believe that we aren't good enough, smart enough, or beautiful enough. You may have woken up today feeling disheartened, feeling a tight feeling in your chest and a heaviness in your heart. Maybe you looked in the mirror and you judged what you saw. Our perception of ourselves isn't based in reality, it's based in our minds. So when we're able to transform our own words, we transform ourselves. I recall first learning about the inner critic that lives in each of our minds, the voice that tells us we aren't good enough, that we're less than others, that we're too big, too dumb, too much. I didn't know it was a voice. I simply thought it was the truth. What a relief it is to know those words aren't who we are. Those words aren't the truth. It's simply a small part of our mind. I felt comfort knowing that everyone has an inner critic, and that what separated those who glowed and radiated authenticity from those who lived in insecurity and judgment wasn't that they were born that way, but instead that they learnt to manage their inner critic. They learnt to change their words, to change how they felt about themselves. I wish every young girl was taught about the inner critic that lived inside her mind and her ability to tame it and quieten it so that she can rise above and live with confidence, purpose, and authenticity. Being aware is the first step. When my life feels overwhelming and I'm not taking time to myself, I notice my inner critic leading the show. I feel my self-esteem drop, my optimism diminish, and my sense of inspiration become clouded by doubt. When I feel that heaviness, I can now recognize that I've let my inner critic get loud, and with that awareness, I can choose to turn her down. How have you been speaking to yourself today? When you looked in the mirror, what words filled your mind? When you scrolled social media, what messages did you tell yourself? Noticing your voice brings you back to your innermost self. Noticing your voice creates space between who you are and what's going on in your mind. With that space comes your ability to choose again. A voice of judgment, criticism, and self-hatred shapes a kind of person that shows up and feels very differently to a voice of compassion, encouragement, and support. And so how can we cultivate a new way of speaking to ourselves so that we can create a deeper connection to our own potential and greatness? Life is filled with ups and downs, twists and turns, challenges and successes. You may lose the job, meet the guy, achieve the thing. There are many things in life we don't have control over. Yet we do have control over our own self-talk and the words we choose to speak to ourselves. As you move through your full life, experiencing an array of different emotions and situations, changing your inner dialogue will allow you to cultivate strong roots within yourself, so that no matter which way the wind blows, you will stand strong. Your words have the power to equip you with all you need to handle whatever life throws at you. Turning your inner critic into your inner support system clears the blocks and clears the doubts that have been holding you back and paves the way to allow your authentic innermost self to shine through. Imagine if we taught young girls to focus on what they loved about themselves, on embracing their unique gifts, on appreciating their positive attributes and qualities, and on practicing cultivating a loving relationship with themselves. That change begins with you, with speaking to the little girl within you, with kindness, with belief, and with encouragement. So let's begin that practice today. Just come and get yourself into a really nice, comfortable position with me, just whatever that looks like for you. And we'll just start to bring our focus to our breath together. Can you just start to watch the inflow and outflow of each breath? And just use your breath to ground you into this moment and to connect a little more deeply to yourself. This is your time for you now. There's nowhere else you need to be. There's nothing else you need to be thinking about. And so let's give ourselves this space to really tune back into ourselves and cultivate an uplifting perspective to support us in feeling good and showing up as our best today. And so as you keep coming back to your breath, can you start to release and let go of any tension that you've been carrying in your neck and your shoulders? Can you start to let go of any tension in your forehead or in your jaw? And as we start to find that really cleared and calm space together, I just want you to bring to mind just one thing that you really appreciate about yourself. What's one quality or one attribute that you really admire about the person that you are? And if you're struggling to think of something here, just ask yourself, if I could admire something about me, what could that be? It may be the kindness that you show to others. Maybe it's the dedication you bring to your work. Whatever this looks like for you, big or small, I just want you to notice how you feel when you start to shift your inner focus, when you shift your inner dialogue away from what you're not good at, what you don't have, what you don't like about yourself, to instead shifting that dialogue towards encouraging, supporting, and appreciating the person that you are. And as you start to notice that transformation in the way that you feel, start to breathe in that sense of acknowledgement and love and kindness towards yourself. And as you use your breath, exhale, release, and let go of any judgment or any criticism that you've been holding on to this week. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, find your release. Let's set our intention for the rest of this day and for the rest of this week to continue to focus on what we love about ourselves, on what we admire about the person that we are, and on encouraging ourselves towards positive growth. And so whenever you feel a little off track, whenever you feel a little down, come back to this practice, come back to this breath, and start to connect back to your innermost self. Thank you so much for joining me for today's audio tape. I hope this mini-series has left you feeling a little more calm, a little more confident, and a little more connected to your innermost self.